Hey team, Lucin here, and today I'd like to do some edits to a flyer and make sure that we cut out the DJs or the people, the artists in the proper way so that whenever files get transferred over, it is a smooth process and that we also do not create effects that are embedded into the image because if we want to make some changes to that image, then we can't. So let me explain. So when I opened up the Photoshop file that was provided to me, I'm having this issue right here where it says cannot locate linked assets. And it says my library slash vector smart object. And then if I click on this, I actually don't know what this vector smart object is. It seems as though that it's trying to figure out a link to the library that is on your computer. I think the best way to approach it is going to be the way that I explain in a little bit right now. So I'm going to just hit OK, and I'm not even sure what it's asking for. So that is an issue. It can potentially be an issue. I think right now we're okay, but so, we did this flyer and I just got word that this guy Lobo is not going to be there and that the photos look a little bit too filtered. So I wanted to go in and adjust some of the things, right? So when we double click on the layer with all the images, I see that over here they seem to be treated, right? So we have Lobo and New Era, we have Tone Setter, and then Narco. Now, what I would like to have access to is these images, but in not in the treated way that they are over here already. And I think especially for Narcos, he looks a little bit treated. So, I was just going through the layers. This one looks, I think, more original. I'm not quite sure. This one looks treated. I mean, it looks like faded, right? But it looks like it was blended in or what was done is that the treatment of the desaturation was done to the layer and not preserving the original picture, and that's really really important. So let me see right here. I see that this is a smart object. Maybe there's two combinations in here. Yeah, there are, but then again, this one I could tell that it was desaturated and treated a little bit. Again, I want to be able to preserve any original photo and then put effects on top of it, and I'll show you what I mean. So check this out. I'm gonna not save, and I'm gonna not save this. I actually kind of did it with New Era already. We're gonna do it with Tone Setter. So I'm gonna go to the project folder. I'm going to go to images, Tone Setter. So now I saw that Tone Setter was nicely cut out. So I was like, okay, great. Let me open this in Photoshop. I'm gonna select all, copy, close, paste, and then I notice a really harsh white line all around. And that's something that I don't want to work with. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and quickly remask out this guy, and I'm gonna show you how I think is the best way to preserve the original photo if at any case we need to do some more editing to it. So if we have, a nice photo shoot photo of an artist, we go to quick selection over here and just click and drag all the way down. It's great when they have a nice clean background because look at that. I just did one click and drag and it pretty much did everything for me. When it doesn't, you could increase the brush size with the left bracket and the right bracket. Especially like in here. If we zoom in over here, it looks like there was nothing that was not, I mean, this part needs to be deselected. So then I'm just gonna make the brush a little bit bigger so you can see if you do the option, the plus turns into a minus. So when you do, I'm gonna go decrease the size and hit minus, click and drag in here, nice and carefully, and then let go. And then I see it bled over to here. So then I'll just click and drag without the holding option, just a regular click and drag. And then you do your adjustments as you see fit. They don't have to be absolutely perfect because we can fix that once we mask it. Okay, cool. I mean, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna just zoom in over here, see his hair, his ears. Yep, all the creases on his jacket seem to be aligned or, selected right here. I think that's okay. Oops. And right here, his his like white tee. Just click, click, click. And that's it. So then this magical button right here, select and mask. Very key. So right here, it looks like nothing happened, but when you click on view and do on black, then you get to see, okay, let's see where the edges start to mess up. Edge detection, smart radius. I like to adjust this little by little, and it takes some time because this is like doing some really heavy lifting. The smoothness, if you increase this, watch, you see the edges start to smooth out, but if it's too much, it's no good. So it's all a matter of adjusting this little by little. The feather is really cool. Like if we increase it all the way, you see like, the feathering just looks disgusting. So that's just something that you need to finagle little by little. Same thing with the contrast. If we had no contrast, you see how fuzzy it is? If you increase the contrast, look at the edge, it gets much sharper. Now, the goal is not to have something super sharp and not to have something super fuzzy. Something that looks good, I mean, this is really an intuition thing, I would say. And then the shift edge, if we brought it back down to 0, that's where we see that little sharp white line edge, right? When you do shift edge, negative a few percentage, then that white edge goes away. That is super key, and I love this feature right here because it just helps out so much. You could continue going down. Like let's say if he was on a green screen background, if you do decontaminate color and some of the green screen bled onto his jacket, this is what this would do. It would try and get rid of the green screen. But since he's on a white background, it doesn't really matter. And then this is the key part right here. Output to new layer with layer mask. Not selection, not layer mask, not new layer. Not new document either. Not new document with layer mask. I always do new layer with layer mask, and I'll show you why. If you want to double check before we hit OK, I'm gonna go to view and go back to on white. Still looks good. If you do on overlay, it'll show you, how much we ended up shifting in to the to the um to the image, to the person. So that's cool. That's the marching ants. Onion skin is just to show you the transparency. But I normally use on black and on white interchangeably to see and tell, okay, this is a pretty good cutout. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. So we got new layer with layer mask selected. I'm going to hit OK. And then boom, you see it created another layer with this layer mask. If we hit shift and click on this layer mask, you see the big X right here. That means it brought back the background. If we hit shift and click again, it's the layer mask is on. Now, what's really cool about having it this way and not having a PNG, so to speak, is to, when we click on this layer mask and let's say we messed up a little bit, right? Let's say, that his ear, got cut off over here. We could go in with a black brush, right? Let me hit B for brush. And with a black brush, we could start to either erase, or if we hit the letter X and change the black to white, we could start to paint back in different elements of it. If we have the brush more of like a soft brush, hit the letter X for B, to hit the black, and then boom, we could start to really finesse the actual mask that we have for this particular artist. And then the same thing goes with any part of the individual. So let's say I'm really happy with this. What I'm going to do is save this Photoshop file. This Photoshop file that we opened up as a JPEG. I mean, it was just a JPEG, but now because we have a layer, we could do a save. And then right under here, I would just say, tone setter masked, underscore tone setter masked or something like that. Anything to let me understand that, okay, this is a Photoshop file that I can adjust. Now, I want to throw him into here. So, the way I split the screen was doing arrange tile all vertically. And I created a shortcut for that. I did shift Command 1. You can add a shortcut by going to Edit Keyboard Shortcuts, and then searching for that particular one, which is under Window, and then adding Command Shift 1. I find it very, very helpful. So I want to add him to this layer. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that I'm on the canvas with Tone Setter on it. I'm going to click and drag this in here. And boom, he's giant. That's perfect. I love that because that tells me it is high quality. Before I resize anything, of course, I'm going to go ahead and right click and convert to Smart Object. What will happen here? I'm going to hide bridge. I don't know why that came up. And then rename this to Tone Setter Pick. So now when I go in and hit Command T to adjust the size of him, I am able to do so. And if I wanted to adjust, if for whatever reason I noticed that I'm like, oh man, I messed up his jacket, I could double click in here and adjust the mask. It's like, yo, I messed up his jacket, right? So, okay, boom, I could fix it right here. Oh, that's better. You know, hit save, and then it'll update in this layer over here. So again, what the whole point of this is so that we can preserve the original photo and then make any future adjustments as we see fit. So I have Tone Setter. I did the same thing for New Era. Let me put them together, right? So New Era's here, Tone Setter's over here. I try and match their head height, right? To kind of see like if they were the same person or, you know, right next to each other. And then the same thing with Narco. So I haven't seen if Narco's picture is in here. Let's see, New Era. I don't see Narco. There's Lobo. So that's another thing too. Like if you're going to make adjustments and keep things organized, definitely throw in the photos in here as well to help out whoever else. Oh, they might be in here. Hold. Help, Lobo, New Era, Tone Setter, Unique. No, I don't see Narco. So therefore, let's redo it. So DJ Narco, we'll go to brand discovery, I believe. No, not brand discovery. Photos. Oh, here we go. I was missing it. Photos, Narco. And what I like to do, I mean, you already see that I've already I have a folder of JPEGs, but some of them have been treated. So then I keep the PSDs there just in case for the future. So if I do like a sort through as PSD, look at it, I already have him cut out over here. So I can double click this and look, you see I have the layer mask already done. So that means if I zoom in and take a look, you know, like I can adjust it as I see fit. You know, I can preserve, I could paint back in, I have the original colors, I can adjust later on. So let's do the same thing, click and drag him over here. And then I'm going to right click, convert to Smart Object. And then look, you see like even up here, we see that there's a little bit of white that's messed up. So we can go ahead and adjust that. And let's just put him in as the right size for now. The right size-ish. Yeah, he's a bit of a short dude. And Tone Setter, we got your back. Boom. DJ Narco. And then we'll adjust this in a little bit. Or actually what we'll do is just bring it down. And we can make New Era maybe a little taller. You know, Tone Setter a little shorter. Narco a little shorter as well. You know, we adjust as we see fit. I want Narco like right there. The art of the artist positioning. right, it's looking pretty cool. Okay, so again, the whole point is so that, I mean, the white part is now so small that it's barely noticeable. Noticeable. If we go in here and kind of see if we added another, let's say, black layer and put it underneath, yeah, we're able to see that there are some missing parts. But because we have the ability of a soft brush and, you know, making it really, really small and hitting a black brush, you know, we can go ahead and start to erase this little part over here. Same thing goes over here, right? Boom. That should do it. Yeah, everything looks okay. When you hit save, of course, making sure that the black layer is invisible and get rid of that piece of canvas. You know, we are boom. You see no real white spots. You could go in and, you know, adjust as you see fit, but for the most part, it's looking pretty good. Okay, now again, we're doing this to preserve the original quality and then adjust however we need to on top of that. So what do I mean by that? So let's say if we go to tone setter and we wanted to desaturate him, do your very best to not desaturate the original layer. What you want to do is add an adjustment layer. If you don't see your adjustment layer panel, go to Window, Adjustments, and then you have these adjustment layer options. So let's say if you did a hue saturation, you see it creates a whole nother layer. And then if you want to desaturate, then, you know, we desaturate. If we change our mind or we need to make an edit in the future, I could just hide it, create another saturation layer, or keep the same saturation layer, double click it, and then, you know, pump up the saturation, adjust the hues, adjust the settings however we need to. And then that way, again, when I hit save and then hit the back, or, you know, get rid of the background Photoshop file, boom, it updates over here. So we will do the same thing for each and every one, making sure that the adjustments look okay and look good on each other. So right here, another hue saturation, desaturate a little bit. You know, I mean, he was pretty much there, but then, you know, you can get rid of it. It's not embedded. It's not merged onto the layer. You get that? So it's a whole separate layer, the adjustments. And that's incredibly important, again, because now I needed to make a different change to this particular person, and, you know, I needed to sort of start over. So we want to prevent starting over as much as possible, because time is money and we need to just move forward on all these other projects. So let's see. Cool, they're looking pretty even. I think I need to desaturate these two a little bit more. Oops, sorry. So you see that I just added a whole nother one. I could just use this one. And I think actually what's going on is that there's another adjustment. Yeah, it's this adjustment right here that's adding their color, which is interesting. I think it's this one right here. Hue saturation. We're decreasing it and then it's increasing some of it, which is not too crazy bad. I think that's fine. And then just to decrease tone set a little bit more. Yeah, that should do it. And then we should be good to go. Yeah, they look pretty even now. Very, very good. So what do we have here? Okay, so now we have all of these. So you see, I keep them separate. You know, they're not merged. You know, we're not trying to, yeah, we're not trying to merge anything, but we can group them, right? So DJ picks, right, and then I can steal this layer adjustment and throw it on here, and boom, it started to erase that particular body, you know, and then we have to just Boom, do this right here, and then it's already like pretty much set, good to go. Let me hit save. Oh, I gotta adjust this. It's no more Lobo. DJ New Era, boom, at the top. So that should make him feel good. DJ New Era, DJ Tonsa, latest free, boom, 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 boom. Friday, March 22nd, done. Let's maybe move this up just a tad. Okay. Let's move this little random shape. Actually, yeah, where it was is fine. Okay, so their concern was that it was a little bit too filtered, so that might have been my bad because originally it looked like this. Well, with the 75%, it looked, you know, right here, it was just looking a little bit too filtered. So I get that. So right here, let's try this. Let's do a copy. Let's do a paste. So now I have the whole thing merged. We do filter, topaz. Oh yeah, that's right. It's not going to work because we are in CMYK mode. If we change the mode to RGB, it's not going to let us because we have a bunch of other adjustments that are making us merge, and we don't want to do that. So when we go to just new, you know, because we already copied we did a whole copy of the whole thing, a copy merge. It keeps the resolution. It keeps the dimensions. 1080 by 1350. We'll just adjust this to RGB. Hit create, paste. Then we'll go to filter topaz. You see now it's activated. Now I like to do topaz on the whole thing because then that ends up adjusting, unifying the whole look of the whole flyer. You see, so even it adjusts the on the text and it does it over here and it looks like all one flyer. You know what I'm saying? So this one, clarity might be better than we had before. You know, it shows it doesn't look too filtered. Before I was using vibrance, which might have been just a little too much. So crisp, you know, this is before, this is after. So crisp looks good, clarity looks a little better. Detail strong is too much. Detail colored is yeah, too much. Maybe I think. Dramatic. Let me show what I had before. Vibrance. Yeah, vibrance doesn't look too bad now. And I think it's because we don't have as much filtering going on. I think it was filter on filter on filter. But let me compare vibrance with clarity. Vibrance, clarity. Yeah, I like clarity. And I love that it pumps up the shadows over here on the title. I love that it adds a little bit more contrast to the designs in the background. It gives, you know, a little bit more pop. And this is looking pretty good, if you ask me. So now I'm gonna copy this, bring it back to the whole. I'll get rid of this one. I'll paste this. Actually, I'll keep the other one because I love to keep layers. But you know, just keep it hidden and then do topaz clarity. Boom. So now this is before and this is after. And I don't think we need to even, like sometimes you could blend them in, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it looks pretty damn good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I'm gonna save a JPEG. JPEG, make sure we are in the JPEG folder. Let's do March 22nd, version 3. Make this max. And then I'm going to take that same exact JPEG that we saved, which was version 3, hit right click, open with Adobe Photoshop, and then go to image mode RGB, and then do a save as RGB underscore web, save, and then let's do this a like quality 8. Hopefully that does it. I think I was having some issues yesterday, but let's see. No, it's still really, really big. So what I'm going to do is delete this one. Over here, I'm gonna go to File, Export, Save for Web. That's what we're gonna do. The quality, bring this to 80. Make sure we're on JPEG. Optimized, very high is good. Percent, this is good. See how the original it says 4 megabytes, but now the optimized version is gonna be 949 kilobytes. I don't know why Photoshop was giving me a problem with that, but yeah, we do version 3 web, save. Now when we go back to it and compare the 22 megabyte version, again, I don't know why it's so big. It shouldn't be that big for a JPEG, not even a CMYK JPEG. Okay, so we're in version 3 CMYK. If we go up one, we're in web. Look at that, no difference. Looks so good, so good. No difference, but the big difference is that this is less than a megabyte, and that's gonna be easy to share. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump into making this into an animation. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just dive in. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Act. I'm trying to think. Actually, we should send it to them. Nope. I'm gonna send them both. We're gonna give them a big impact. Here's an update, and then here is the animated version. So in the Creative Cloud file folder, going back to Unique Fridays, I created an AE folder. And then I started to, oh, I did not start. I have a version 5 here, but then I had no time last night. So we're gonna start a new project, bring in the PSD, and then from there, we're going to add some effects. What I did start to do is download the audio that they suggested, that for well, Toneset and Narco suggested. And the one that I liked is this one, Techno Bow. Because I'm a techno guy, but then I think this one's the more I don't know, more right there, that part. Oof. The bass sounds awesome. That's fun. Let's bring that in here. Audio, get rid of this. Throw this into here. Okay. So what I did need to do, or what we do need to do, is create a unique Fridays flyer for AE. See, I started doing it here. I'm going to duplicate this and do version 3 AE. Let me get rid of all of these things so I don't confuse myself. I guess we could save this. Let me close this. Let me close this. I'm gonna rename this one to version 3. So right here, version 3. Boom. So now I have an AE version, and the reason why we need to create an AE version for, oh man, I'm still getting this. Again, I don't know why. So the reason why we need to create an AE version is because we need to convert this to RGB. Now, let's see, we might have to sacrifice these. Oof. And I think there was, well, let's see if that does it. Because watch, when we have this on, it's gonna say changing modes will discard some adjustment layers. Change mode anyways, okay, or merge. Okay, so if we hit okay, it is gonna discard. Actually, I'm gonna hit cancel real quick. I'm gonna hide the topaz layer, so now we have all the layers. So it is going to get rid of all the adjustment layers that we've been messing with. So we're gonna say, okay, get rid of those layers. Changing modes can affect the appearance of smart objects. Rasterize smart objects before mode change. I don't like to rasterize anything, but let's do it for this case because we still have the original Photoshop file. And you see the colors adjustments started messing up a little bit, but we bring back topaz clarity, and then that's just one top layer on top of everything, and that's how the flyer should look like. But let's see what we could do. What I'm trying to do right now, honestly, is to have a couple different layers. I want to have unique Fridays. I want to animate that. I want to rotate it. And then I want to have the DJs on a top layer. And then everything else behind it, I want to be able to move it, throw some animations, some layers, and that's it. And I want those animations to move to the beat. Okay. So the unique Fridays, this I do want to animate, and I want to make sure that we have it as a separate layer. So main title, we do have that as a separate layer, and we will bring in that animation from the other AE file. And then we should have DJ picks as a layer, right? Which is where, I think in here. No? Main title? Design elements. Background? Oh, it's in here. DJ photos. Yeah, and then after everything else, we should be able to. So I want to bring this one over here. I want to make it a little bit easier to find. Main title. So can we do this? Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna undo that. And that's because there's an adjustment layer there somewhere. So I think I'm gonna let that rock. Because we'll have the still flyer and then the the animation, which can have just slight color adjustments. Ideally we wouldn't want to, but no one's gonna notice. Okay, main title, we got the DJs and then just everything else. So I'm gonna bring this even out here, make it easy to find when we are doing everything. Because in After Effects, this is going to bring, it's going to show all of like these folders are not going to be folders. These folders are going to be comps. So this will be a comp, this will be a comp, and then everything else will be a comp. So I think this may work. And we're in the AE Photoshop. So I'm going to hit save. Let's do another folder, call it PSD. I'm going to hit import. Let's go to Unique Fridays, AE. No, not AE. PSD version 3 AE, not as footage, but let's retain the layer size of the composition, because footage would just bring it in as one layer. We want to keep the layers. And look, it asks us again, just in case, import kind, make sure it's composition, retain layer size, and editable layer styles. Yes. Okay, let's hit OK. Now let's double click this, make sure that it fits up to 100%. And okay. So the layer styles that it was, you know what? I'm gonna undo. Let's see if we could adjust. I mean, I don't know if you saw the problem there. It had it showed their legs, and that's because of this right here. So you know what I'm gonna do actually to fix that? I'm going to right click, convert to smart object. See, so now this is a whole layer. I'm gonna save this, and it's gonna work. So right here, I'm gonna go PSD, import, AE, not as footage. We're gonna composition, retain layer size, hit open. Technoball. Okay, composition, retain layer size, editable layer styles, hit OK. Double click this, boom, we're in business. We are in business. Okay, so couple things. I want to just make sure our adjustments layer that can stay there. This is the main title one, perfect. And then the DJ picks, and then everything else underneath is okay. So let's rotate this title. So what I'm gonna also do is put in another folder, call it AE. We're gonna import that project, which is version 5, title 3D version 5. Let's see what happens. I imported it. We got some missing footage, but I think that's okay because we didn't use any footage. And this is the Unique Fridays 3D elements that I ended up doing. I wish I recorded how to do this too, My apologies for that, but let's move forward. Hopefully, I'll be able to record the next one. So let's go to composition settings. I want to adjust the timeline, duration to 30 seconds. Frame rate 30 frames per second is good. We go to preview, make sure frame rate 30 seconds. Over here it says 30 frames per second as well. We're gonna skip one, make sure the resolution is at half just for previewing purposes. Gonna extend all these layers. And then this one over here. What I want to do is rotate it on its horizontal axis. Oh, but then, okay, so we're gonna have to do a little bit more adjusting. Because what I'm really trying to do, check this out. What we're trying to do, let's go to rotation. Let's see, is it y-axis? Not the y-axis. Okay, effects that use camera light should apply to 2D layers. Let's I think it's saying that because we need to add in a camera to the scene. So if we do, I'm gonna undo that. Let's see if we could get away without the camera. Okay, x-axis. Yeah, look, what I'm trying to do is just go techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, but in the middle, really nicely. But when it reverses, you know, I mean, when it shows the behind part, I want it to show another front part. So we're gonna have to make a duplicate of this and put it on the other side. So let's go to scene setup. And yeah, this is what the scene actually looks like. So I want to create just a whole nother copy of this, put it on this side. Let's try that. So I'm gonna name this group folder Unique Fridays Front. Let's see if it lets us duplicate all. Okay. So let's do Unique Fridays back. Okay, so I'm gonna grab all this. Let me hide the front one. No, I'm gonna just keep them both right there. I'm gonna grab the back one, hit E for rotate, and then grab this line right here. It's not rotating that. Let's see if we grab these two and then rotate that still. So what I'm gonna do is actually delete this. I think, yeah, it's weird. So right here, I'm gonna name this Unique Front. And I'm gonna name this Friday's Front. What I'm gonna do is duplicate these. Let's say duplicate all. Okay, cool. So now Unique Back. And then Friday's Back. So now if I grab both of these, it doesn't let me. Oh yeah, shift click, and then rotate. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Let's see how this goes. Okay, good. Ish. Okay, so let's hit W, yeah, W, and then move along the Z axis, bring this forward. Okay. Okay, I think this might actually, as weird as it looks, it may actually work. Yeah. Right? So the idea is techno ball, techno ball. Oh, that's not gonna work. It would have to be like techno ball, techno ball. So if it was to rotate like this, everything else has to be upside down. Okay. So let's go to E, right? And then we're gonna take the blue axis. Oh, we're in the wrong side. So it's this one. Take the blue axis, just make it upside down. The struggle. Now, if it was just one layer, I know that we would be able to see the degrees here, but because it's multiple, that's kind of weird and it's not letting us. Okay, so let's try. Let's see if we're like techno ball, grabbing it. But yeah, the idea works. If we go here, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, I like it. I freaking like it. Let's hit OK. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Now if we go, and this is all in one scene or one group. You see what I'm saying? So if we go to the X rotation, we kind of get it happening. It's just it's rotating about a very weird axis. We want it to rotate about over here. Now I wonder how we can move that the within this particle. I mean, can we move? Let's see. Position. This position. I see that it's getting cut off over here a little bit. So yeah, that's good. I want to move the anchor point. Particle look. Let's see, enable particle count, replicator shape, position. And it's not the anchor point of the layer. It's not this. At least I don't think. Let's see. If we were to put this here, I don't think that's gonna adhere to it. No. Oh, but what we could probably do is move everything down so that the center is in the center. So let's try that. Let's do position. Let's go down here. Oh, and look, there's something over here, which might be the anchor point. Again, I'm using a file that the team used, so I'm just trying to adjust to it. And there's multiple ways to do the same thing. But now if we go techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, it's not in the center. Undo that. And I think again, it's also because the center is the center is, I mean, we have an object, right? Let me see if I could use like this. We have an object, right? This is the title. The center is right in front, but we also need to have a center in the middle of the object in order for it to rotate, upon itself. So that's interesting. I'm trying to figure out how to make that happen. I'm gonna figure it out. Just gonna take some time. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go to Google. Let's go to After Effects Elements 3D. Let's do anchor point. That's what it is. Adjusting the anchor point video copilot. Yes. Oh, model center. Here we go. It's within the anchor offset. Okay. So it looks like if we go in here. Ah, yeah, for sure. So this is the plane, right? And it does look above the plane. So I think if we just grab everything and hit W, let me just bring it, oops. If we grab everything and bring it down towards the center, that should do it. Now, is there a way that I can see like the exact, like the, well, let's try that. I think that it might help. So now if we go techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno, yep. It feels better, but this one doesn't rotate right because I think it's not. Let me undo that. I think this has to do with the model. So which is the front? We got the front. Is that okay? This is the front. So this looks good, but then Okay, and this is on a slant. When we rotate, this is not on a slant. Got it. Okay, so unique back, Fridays back. We are on the plane. I'm looking at this plane, right? And we are pretty much like, looking at it straight as though we were on the flyer. So we want to just rotate this a little bit. Let's see if that does it. Okay. So if we let's go ahead and animate this. Let's say from right here, we'll go to the front, hit the little timer on the X rotation, and in 10 seconds, well, let's do 30 seconds. It's gonna rotate, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 5 times. 5 times. Right, so when you hit the letter U from here, let's just hit spacebar. Techno ball, techno ball, techno ball. Now I want it to go the other way. I don't want to read, like let's say right now, I don't want to read Fridays and then unique first. I want to read unique and then Fridays. So this is not 5, but -5. So it should rotate the other way. Yep, unique Fridays, unique Fridays, unique Fridays. So I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a little odd, but it still looks kind of cool and interesting. It looks unique. So I think we can get away with it. Let's try and do this and see what they say. If they're like, yo, the title's too crazy, then we'll probably just make it rotate, on its axis, just like little by little, left and right. But the speed of this is decent. Let me see, unique Fridays. Actually, it's a little too fast. So instead of rotating -4, let's do -3. I don't know why it changed that. That was weird. You saw it was 5 before. Let's see, unique Fridays. Yeah, this speed is better. Unique Fridays, unique Fridays. And we get to appreciate the 3D depth of it, the shadows, all this craziness that's happening. Okay, we're gonna hit save. Let's do this as what are we gonna call this? Unique Fridays animated flyer. Okay, because like if we come back to our project, this is just title rotating. We got to come back over here to the PSD. Now if we go into main title right here, unique Fridays logo, we're just gonna try and replace it right there. So let's go to right here, title rotating. Let's bring that into here, make it smaller. I'm glad that it is bigger because then it gives us quality. So let me hide this, unique Fridays. Okay, I see what's going on. So hit the P to bring this down. It's kind of like right there. Yep, more or less. So I'm gonna hide the original one, keep this one here. Let's go into the flyer. Okay. Let's bring in the audio. No, let me bring in the audio over here. Hit LL to see the audio. Actually, I'm gonna listen to it and then see where we could start off. Intros are whack. The siren is, we don't need that. I always want to do when the fun starts. Right there, that was cool. That was 13, 14 seconds. Ooh, that bass is crazy. Or even starting it right there. Let's see what happens. That was like around 30 seconds. The rapping's kind of whack. Or not necessary. I guess I haven't listened to the whole song. That's okay. I think when this guy starts 108 or 112. Oh. But they're not saying techno bowl. This song. Esto está heavy, esa vaina. Oh, oh. Let's see right here. Let's see what happens. Okay, 140, which is like the same as before. Ooh, that rapping sounded better. Let's do 140. Let's see what happens. Okay. I double clicked it over here. It was like around 140 or so. I'm gonna hit this little thing and then bring it in. And then you see it like pre-cuts it. So I'm gonna delete the original right here. Boom. Yeah, and you see, we see the layers. It goes da 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 da. That's what's happening right here. Da 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 da. No ball. Let's see. So I'm gonna start like right here. We're not gonna start we're gonna start the animation when the beat drops. But let's see. Boom! Right here. This is where the fun is gonna start. Oh, this is a 15-second animation. No, I want 30 seconds, so we gotta expand this one too. Okay. Oh, now I gotta adjust all this stuff. That is so whack. I hate it when that happens. We might need to though, but all right, we'll see. Let's keep moving forward. Main title, right? Title rotating. That's where this is gonna stay. Let's see if we could have unique Fridays. So what I'm seeing right here is, would it be crazy? You know, we keep this unique Fridays, and then when the beat drops, we go boom. You know, then we start to rotate it. That's not too bad. But I want to start rotating like right here. So okay. So we go that techno ball. I kind of jerked a little too much. So what if we brought it in like over here? Techno ball. Maybe we blend it in, we fade it in. That might work. So let's do opacity 100 to over here, then 0. So then it goes no. Oh, and then this one also disappears. So opacity 100 to, let's do 0. No? Let's see. What does that look like? This is crazy. Do something crazy. All right. Um, let's listen. Let's see. Yeah, I might want to start it over here. Yeah, let the fun let the fun happen a little bit more, a little bit faster. I think so. Oh, but then I messed up, didn't I? Let's see, undo. Well, no, let's do it here, and then it's supposed to start right here. Let's go back to main title. Yeah, all of this. And the 30 seconds. We're gonna have to make that. And we're gonna add some effects and stuff. So, all right, we gotta make this adjustment, which freaking sucks. The way you do this, you see, it's maxed out at 15 seconds. You gotta go into each layer and do, composition settings and change them to 30, and then bring these in out all the way. Oh, but there's so many layers. All right, I'm gonna do it a different way. What we're going to do, and you see it ends up letting you expand it, but there's layers within layers within layers, so I don't think it's the smartest way to go about it, or the most efficient way. Since it's just the background of all these things, what we're going to do is, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the last frame, we're gonna right click, time, freeze on last frame, boom. And you see, and then that lets us expand it out. Yes, very nice. You see the background still there, but nothing else. So we're gonna do that to every one of these layers, except main title. Let's do time, freeze on last, expand all this out, all the way out. Logos, we don't need this logo layer. Adjustments, time, freeze on last layer, boom. Very nice. We don't need this. The topaz clarity, I'm gonna keep and see what if we could blend it in if we need to, if we can. Now the main title, this one does need to be 30 seconds as well. And again, the lines, free time, freeze on last frame, and then that expands it. Okay, cool. I think we are in business. Let's see that. The title we could expand. So right here it's just flyer, 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 flyer. And then boom, and then we'll do something. So let me just mark this with Control 8. Gives me a little mark right here. That's when the fun starts. So right here for this beginning part, I just want something really, really subtle to be blended in, and then when the beat drops, we get crazy. So I have a whole folder. I mean, since I am a VJ, I have a whole folder where I have just my VJ stuff. So that's super helpful, and I want you guys to have access to that because that's gonna be helpful. But let's see, where is it? Let's go to Pegasus, backup drives, hallucinated visuals. And since I want something slow, I'm gonna do slow energy and or overlays. Oh, but these need to be viewed in Bridge. That's the thing. Because I have a bunch of old, I mean, they're converted in a different format, so I need to just view them on Bridge, and Bridge can read it nicely. So right here we go to, let's try slow motion, low energy. Yeah, here we go. So this is kind of, it's gonna be kind of fun. Oh, what's this? Techno ball, techno ball, techno ball, techno. This I actually like for when the beat drops. Let's right click this bad boy, or let's stop this. No, you don't want to stop. Okay, right click, reveal in Finder. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna do get info. Yeah, it's HAP. This HAP codec doesn't. The new After Effects does not like it, or the new Premiere and After Effects, they do not like it. So in the Unique Fridays folder, I'm gonna put footage. I'm gonna throw in here and copy paste that into here. I'm gonna try and import it, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna let me. So let's do footage, new folder. Throw this in here. Yep. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Oh, didn't import it. So what I'm gonna do is actually double click it, let QuickTime convert it, save that, and then import that file into it. I think what it ends up doing is it converts it to H.264, which is a normal, internet video file. HAP is great for VJing because you could do a lot of layers and it's not gonna make the computer slow. So right here, I'm gonna do either save or export. Let's do export. No, let's do save. Save should be faster actually. And then I'm gonna drag this here, name this underscore converted. Boom. So now when I do converted, those into footage. Yep, look, it brought it in nicely. And now the HAP I can't preview. If I hit spacebar, it's a black screen. If I do the converted, I can actually see all this fun stuff going on. So I mean, just for example, right? If I wanted to bring this in, right when the fun starts, I want to do underneath the main title and underneath the DJs, even underneath the text. And then you see it's a HD, but if I rotate it, it's, go like this and make sure we're at perfect 90 degrees, expand it just a little bit so that we're not, so that we have all that stuff there. And then it's kind of like Photoshop. It's like blending it. I could just click right here. I could pick a blending option, or I can hit Shift and plus and cycle through a whole bunch of stuff. But I do like to, start off with either screen or add because there's black. So then right here, I'm gonna go right there, boom. So for example, I mean, we're gonna do something subtle here, but then when the beat drops, oh, it's fire. Oh, what happened? Oh, so I mean, it's a short little video, right? So what we need to do for any video in After Effects is right click, interpret footage, main. And then right here, all the way at the bottom, loops, 50 loops. So now I can expand it and then we'll be good. So now. This shit is lit. Right here, I will probably like stop it or switch up the thing for a little bit. Of course, After Effects is slow and it's like trying to like preview and shit, and that's why it's doing this. But let's continue. That's fun. I still want something subtle for the techno ball part. And it could I might go into the overlay folder. The overlay folder that I have has just more like little elements to overlay, where this is like really like intense stuff. I love this right here, but I use that too often. All right, let's go back to hallucinated visuals, overlay folder. Yeah. Oh, look, like here, like these circuits might be fun. Let's see what else we got. These little LEDs I used the last time. Oh, these are cool. maybe a little too much. This might work, but it's a little too intense as well. What's this glitch hap? Oh no. That's kind of cool. Little rain stuff. Maybe a little bouquet. Since we do have bouquet on the flyer, this might actually work kind of cool. Let's see, glittery bouquet. Let's keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep going. What's this laser light? Whoa, that's OD. Light. Oh, what are these? Too trippy right away. Again, I'm going for subtle, just a little bit of movement, and then drop it. That might be cool for. Oh, what about these? No, whoa, whoa, whoa. Too crazy. Snow, snow, sirens. The sirens. I mean, there is a siren in the song. Oh, right here, little twinkles. The twinkles might be cool. Let's try the twinkles and then the bouquet. So let's reveal this in the Finder. Hit copy. I'm gonna delete this one to not take up space. And that's why I do copy paste, because I don't want to like drag. This is literally a copy into the Creative Cloud folder. Let's do the dots, and then let's try also, there was like a bouquet, glittery bouquet. Bokeh. Yeah, this one might work as well. Reveal in Finder. Still copy. Still paste. Let's double click this. While that one loads, let's save this one. Let's do footage. Yep, converted. Save. Okay, done. Let's do this. No, we don't want to get smaller. Supongo. All right, we've reached the hour mark. We're almost done though. I hope you're learning a lot just by me speaking out loud and going about this promo. Perfect. Okay, file, save. Yep, converted. Good. Okay, so now I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. Delete. Let's bring both of these into After Effects, into the footage folder. Let's try the twinkle first. You see that it's like really small. We'll make it bigger. Oh yeah, rotate 90. Oops, rotate 90. Make it bigger. These effects, I think we could stretch and blend because nobody cares. Screen or add? Oh, add is brighter, but let's do screen because I want people to read the thing, and then I just want it to be again subtle, like just like 40%, and then to stop it once the beat drops. So then let's see, let's save, let's see what happens. That works. That fucking works. Let's actually, I think because it's struggling, I gotta go to edit, purge all memory and disk cache. If this is at my max disk cache, which is not, my max is 300 gigs. I don't know why it's struggling, but let's just. Okay, I'm gonna let it go and then just hit mute, and just so that we could preview it fully. And I want to also hear when is the next time that we can change the background, maybe when he starts rapping, or if there's a little dip in the music or something. I'd say this is pretty unique. Okay, This is almost done, and then I'm gonna hit the unmute button. Lit. Yeah, like right here. Calm it down. And then bring it back. Yeah, I could just bring it back. Doesn't gotta be too crazy. Oh, look at it right here. All right, so it goes. Because from here to there, it kind of like fades. That's what we're gonna do. Is go right here. Let's go back up and fade it to right here. Just gonna fade it to 0, and then bring back these little twinkles. We're actually gonna fade in the twinkles, so we're gonna go from 0 to 40% at the same time. Bring those in. With these twinkles, I also want to just make sure that we interpret the footage so that we can repeat it 50 times. Yeah, you see how we can extend it out? So now let's see how that feels. I would also, yes, stop the fade back in the regular title so that it's not spinning, which is over here. Which one is it? This is the regular title. Yeah, that is the regular title. So what we'll do is hit this, make a copy of this. We'll bring this back in over here, but make sure that when we fade it out the title, we'll do it to over here. We double click, or we go back to main title. You see it put the cursor where I need it to be. So then I'll hit this and then make this 0. Hit the T for opacity and make this from 0. We're gonna keyframe it back to 100. See that? Now we're really playing with this shit. So when we come back here, all the fun. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you saw it disappeared? So that's a problem. Oh, because we needed to just take this over here. So now he talks, and then I think it drops right over here somewhere. Yeah, so we'll bring back the fun right here. Let me just mark it. And we'll go to main title. We will do the same thing that we did over here. So let's oh no, we could just fade the same layer in. So we'll go 1 and then 100. And then with this one, we will just make it disappear. All right, so it's like boom and then bang. Oh, but we want to make sure it starts in the right place. So we're not going to use the same layer. Oops. Gonna undo a few times. Make sure I'm in the right. Yep, I'm in the right spot. I am going to just duplicate it. Just put it on the top. Bring it in here. Let this one just end it. All right. So then, oh, we gotta fade it. That's right. So with this one, we will add another layer and then make it disappear. Same thing, yeah. See that blend? No one will ever know. Let's try. Oh, but then the fun needs to come back. So then that's this one right here. Which we can do opacity and then 100. And then keep the twinkles. Yeah. Then we'll just fade everything out. We'll fade everything out the last 2 seconds so that it's just the flyer. We'll let's see what we got here. Let's do opacity. The last 2 seconds, we will go back to 0. Make sure that in the title, we are also just bringing back the regular the regular logo. You know what I'm saying? And then this regular title rotating, we are going to make sure we go back to 0 también. And then that should bring us to a regular looking flyer, no? Oh, right here. So make sure this is faded all the way, and then why is there still a main title rotating? Oh, this should happen earlier actually. I think that's what's going on, right? So we're having a lot of fun, and then everything fades away into a regular flyer. Okay, cool. Oh, but then there's still some fading. What's going on here? Oh yeah. So this, the title rotating, we get rid of that. I think, what is this? Is it this? No. Is it this? Oh no, it was that, I think. Yep, regular flyer. Boom. I think, right? What's this line over here? Oh, I don't like this line. I just noticed that right now. But hopefully, let's just see. Yo, what happened to the? Oh, did I delete it? The twinkle? What happened to the twinkle? Oh man, I messed up, guys. So this is right here. Jefe del dembow. Fade it back out. Cool. And then I'll also fade out the music. Audio levels. -32. That should do it. Oh, you know what? Before, because the beginning of the flyer is gonna be like whatever you see here. I just want the beginning of the flyer to be a regular the regular flyer. So we'll fade this in from 0. You see regular flyer to 100. Right, so the first frame is what's gonna, what people are gonna show in the flyer. So yeah, Done. Donezo. Time to render. Okay, I did a Control Command M. Instead of lossless, I like to do Apple ProRes. That is a preset that I have. Click on the preset. It is just a QuickTime formatted flyer. QuickTime format, format options, video codec, Apple ProRes 422HQ. Video output RGB, depth of millions of colors, color pre-multiply matted, audio output on auto. Yeah, renders right here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do March 22nd, version 3. Save, hit the caps lock, hit render. Oh, two footage files are required to render composition are missing. That's okay. That's the one where we had nothing in there in the composition. Let that render, and then what I'll do is also compress that into an H.264 MP4. I've been messing with the render settings for that for Instagram specifically. It's I don't know, it varies, it's different. It ends up being, I don't know, I go for small file size, but that it looks good. I hate it when it comes out pixelated. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I've been doing a pretty good job with it. I'd like to show you as soon as this is done. Now this is 4 more minutes, but perhaps that will be for another time. I think I'm gonna let you guys go for now. Yeah, I'll have that as a separate video, but I hope you guys learned a lot. It was a good hour and 20-minute session. Time for a break. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.